True peace, Kens. China shocked U.S. with hypersonic missile tests. We was robbed, say U.S. lawmaker. Man, peep the slang. This just came out today. Washington, a purported hypersonic missile test by China is causing hypertension in Washington with alarm bells ringing about Beijing surging ahead of the U.S., not just in economic clout, but also in terms of stolen technological progress. The test, which took place in August, but details of which are only just emerging, reportedly involved a nuclear capable missile that circled the globe in a glide system before descending towards its targets, which it missed by 24 miles. Man, peep the slang. Experts say mastery of such a hypersonic glide system in a low orbit will enable China to evade U.S. anti-ballistic missile defenses that are geared to intercept ICBMs traveling in an arch trajectory loop into space before falling back to Earth and detonating above their intended targets. Man, peep the slang. The hypersonic missile, in contrast, flies low in the atmosphere and can be repositioned in flight, making it difficult to calculate where it will land and therefore hard to intercept. Man, peep the slang. Although only a partial success, reports of Chinese advances with the technology causes some U.S. lawmakers to go ballistic. If we stick to our current complacent course or place our hopes in bankrupt buzzwords like integrated deterrence, we will lose the new Cold War with Communist China within a decade. The People's Liber- Liberation Army now has an increasingly credible capability to determine our missile defenses and threaten the American homeland with both conventional and nuclear strikes, Mike Gallagher, a Republican member of the U.S. Armed Services Committee, warned over the weekend. Gallagher directed his ire at lax oversight of U.S. technology experts, which he said had propelled the Chinese program. According to some accounts, a Chinese firm called Pythium Technology, with ties to the Chinese military, used American software and precision machinery to build the world's most advanced chip factory in Taiwan. Supercomputers using chips from this facility were reportedly used to simulate metrics associated with the hypersonic advances. Beijing itself maintained radio silence on the test, but after it was reported in the Financial Times, a Chinese foreign ministry spokesman claimed it was a routine test of a new civilian spacecraft, the launch of which was of a great significance for reducing the use cost of spacecraft and could provide a convenient and affordable way to make a round trip for mankind peaceful use of space. But Beijing's mouthpiece Global Times gloated about the advance, saying the test means there is a key new member in China's nuclear deterrence system. And this is a new blow to the U.S. mentality of strategic superiority over China. It is important to note the unstoppable trend that China is narrowing the gap with the U.S. in some key military technologies by continuously developing its economic and technological strength. The Global Times said in an editorial adding China doesn't need to engage in arms race with the U.S. It is capable of weakening the U.S. overall advantages over China by developing military power at its own pace. The U.S. response so far was robbed. We was robbed. Okay. Pitting him is just the beginning. The U.S. government has long failed to apply maximum pressure against the Chinese Communist Party military civil fusion strategy. We must end joint ventures, investments, and research collaboration that involve areas associated with military civilian fusion. We also need to stop the flow of Wall Street capital into Chinese tech, Congress Gallagher said. American entities have a clear choice. They can side with our country, or they can side with the genocidal communist regime that now threatens our cities. They can do both. It is time to choose, he added. Man, peep the slang. Hypersonic.